Clint Denyer.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. I've got a lot of different fangled gadgets that I don't normally have with me. I've got a screen mover. Hope you're all well tonight. Thanks for all coming. It's not easy to get people to come out when the weather's so gorgeous. Barbecues, sitting in a pub garden, whatever. But how do you all really feel at the moment? And why groups like this that James has put together is to open our eyes and gives ourselves a new direction and a new way of looking at things that are in our reality. This whole talk is about changing your dimensional thought patterns and the way you think about how you live in your reality. This is not just about hollow earth. This opens a chasm, an absolute chasm within you of infinite knowledge and wisdom that you have deep inside your soul, deep inside your memory banks, and deep inside you. Because you've walked the path of the ancients. All of you have come through the rivers of Atlantis. All of you have walked through the avenues of Egypt. The hollow earth is just the beginning. But to go there, we have to get into a zone. And that zone is understanding how we sit and how we feel about our planet. And how we sit and how we feel about ourselves with the ever-changing tides that are happening on our planet right now. And the dimensional changes. Okay. It's nice to see some familiar faces in the audience. I've been up here for quite a while. It's nice to see Gene and Sam. If we start off, if we look at ourselves, what we have inside, we're not just an earth body, that's our vehicle, that's what we're in at this time, but we have a soul. And a soul is what gives us our emotions, our experiences, our understandings, our teachings. It's a gateway, vortex to dimensional worlds and the universe. The soul is our unique fingerprint on the universe. You are stranded within the universe. You connect to the universe. And the universe connects to this planet. And this planet makes up a grid pattern within the universal structure. And this grid pattern is so uniquely defined. So uniquely defined. We are vibration frequency. And boy, do we live in a time where it's vibration frequency. Everything around us has vibration frequency that we are tuned into, connecting to, and coming to terms with inside ourselves, and how we connect to it, how we adjust to it. We're a prism of transformation. We're walking pyramids. Heart centers, mind chakras, and auritic systems. And a link between normality and the paranormal. And people say to me, Clint, you're bonkers, what is the paranormal? And I've been talking about paranormality for years and years and years. And of course now it's not really that uncommon, because in our reality, paranormality is with us all the time. Because you're listening, you're hearing people that are passed over, they're with you. You're sensing them in your bedroom, you're sensing them in your kitchen. You're feeling vibrations and frequencies, feelings of deja vu, of going to ancient sites where you actually pick up feelings and vibrations, emotions. So what is paranormality? Well, apparently it's not in accordance with scientific laws of science, above or beyond human powers or senses and connections to dimensional states. But what is dimensional state? People say to me, a dimension? We're in a dimension, obviously. This is third dimensional bodies we stand in. Everything around us is third dimensional. But the fact is that the worlds have come together, and we're going to see by some of the slides coming on how it's changed. How our perceptions change, how you want to know what's really going on, how you want to touch and feel that difference that you know that's inside yourself. Activity since 2001. If we just look at some of them, Twin Towers disaster, wake-up call for humanity, time moving fast. You go to bed at night, before you know it, you get up again, you go and do all the same things you normally do, and your week's gone, your year's gone. The next thing you know, it's next June. Time has sped up so fast that we are finding it very difficult in our multi-dimensional beings that we are, in our third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and beyond dimensional realities that we hold within inside us as we live in this reality. We find that very difficult to sit with it right now. It doesn't sit well. But as we go through this universal change, as we go through the different barriers of dimensional thought patterns, and understandings, how we trigger mechanisms inside ourselves. It's very much down to how we want to move, not just individually yourself inside, but how you want to move as a oneness on this planet. Because it's about us coming together as well, consciously. And this isn't, I'm going to go outside and go and hug trees, because I'm not into that. Swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, all these things creating our reality, genetically made, produced, we all know that. Earthquakes, unusual weather, unusual cloud formations, Princess Diana's murder, well, we all know about Princess Diana's murder. It's a oneness, a consciousness that came together more than any world war we've had here on this plane. Everybody in the world, including me, cried their eyes out when it happened. And I've never met her. I've never met her, but I've consciously touched her heart, as we all have. We've all felt that energy that she had. It was very different to anything we've had on this plane. Misled by world government's media manipulation, of course, we can see it right now, the collapse of money systems and structure of the way that we live. We have to go through this trauma stage because we're coming to the sunshine at the end of it. But we have to adjust through the journey. This was on the front of the Mirror newspaper just after supposedly one of the planes hit the building. A clear face. Of course, good old Mr. George Bush said, well, that's the face of Osama bin Laden. Really, George? Really? That face coming out of the smoke is a dimensional change process, the niching of colliding worlds into this reality. So it was captured so that you can see that that happened. A lot of people say, oh yeah, it's just a formation of cloud or whatever. We have to get away from this skepticism about what's happening in our world, because you know inside you're not stupid people. You're treated like sheep, and you're not sheep. You're people with realities and understanding inside you that know that the world we live in is not right at this time. And you know inside that you're heading for big changes. And you know that things that come around the corner that are going to really hit you smack in the face. You will see some other dimensional pictures on here in different visuals and things I've done as well. You have to get in this zone to start looking at the hollow earth, because we can't just put the hollow earth up there. Oh yeah, the hollow earth is hollow, it's not solid. You all sit there and think, well, why is that? We need to be taken on a journey to somewhere to actually focus our inner selves and our minds and our souls exactly on where we're going with this. This is a journey that we're on here together, and I'm just easing you, giving you keys to look at things in a different way, to go away and investigate yourself. Don't believe a bloody word I say. Don't believe anything I say. Go and check it out yourself. It's all there for you to see. My reality, my belief is, as most people in this room I'm sure, is the fact that I'm fed up of being lied to. I'm fed up with the constrictions, the restrictions, and the way that we are pigeonholed, filed, the way we have to be moved around like sheep, the way we have to be watched, the way we have to be by others that tell us that's how it should be. We are free-spirited, free-willed people inside, and we're treated with total contempt. And when you look at a picture like this in Abydos Temple, and most things in Abydos Temple, in Egypt itself, and around the world, you go to Avebury, anywhere, between 3,000 and 5,000 years old. Nothing exists beyond that. Well, we all know that's rubbish. But the one thing that we do know, that this picture here, that is much older than 3,000 to 4,000 years old, coming from the god of the underworld in the Abydos Temple, has pictures of helicopters, planes, it goes on and on, missiles, all sorts of things, radar. This all comes from the fact that we've not gone anywhere. How far have we moved? This stuff existed in Atlantis, Lemuria, the crystalline people, the lion people of Egypt, and way beyond that, out into the universe. And this stuff's still with us now. A lot of people say to me, well, going between dimensions, and they say, what is a fourth dimension? And people can get so hung up on what dimensions are. The fact is, you know in your life, I know every day the multi-dimensional areas I go into, because you're swimming, because you're lightheaded, because you're feeling weight on you, because actually the floor's moving, or because things in your house are changing in front of your eyes and you can't see it, or people come from through walls, or people come from the other world, the worlds that exist around us. And we're at a time now in a fourth dimension state where past, present and future lives exist here now with you. And we are at a very exciting, very dangerous, but very challenging time for us on this plane at the moment who are here to create and give a message back and give something back. And there's big words associated to everything we're doing here. Acceptance, honesty, integrity, initiative, understanding, wisdom, knowledge. Transition, purification, a time of misinformation, death and rebirth. You all die every second, every hour, and you're reborn. You rebirth yourself. Overcoming. Look at this little baby here. Overcoming fear? Have we really got fear in our society? No, surely not. You're very intelligent individuals that are at a very, very peaking prism point in this transition on Earth, where you are here to get rid of this word, because this word is actually a strength. Fear is a strength. It's not a weakness. Before I go and do a talk, I have palpitations, all sorts of things going on. It's a fear you're using as a strength. They throw fear in front of your eyes because they want you all to stay indoors and not come here. They don't want you sitting in a room here listening to me. They don't want you meeting like-minded people. They don't want you to connect to other people to do. Yeah, I experienced that. Yeah, I've seen that. I've gone through that. I want to read that book. They don't want you to link up. New understanding and, as I said, acceptance. Now, in everyday life and paranormality, we have to look at what's around us. And things change in front of our eyes and we don't even notice it. These are particularly defined pictures of some different types of clouds or spaceships. They come in different guises. Very unusual. Now, we've seen for a long time, and there's some coming up on here shortly about crop circles and all sorts. And everything is a funnel. And everything is a journey, what we're doing here, because you have to get in the zone to understand why I'm saying the Earth is not solid. You can't just run straight into it. You've got to look at everything that surrounds us in the world that we live in right now. And if you look in the skies at the clouds have as many pictures as what's here on the plane at Avebury or all over the world that have crop circles. The same patterns exist in our skies, but we don't tend to look at them because we're so funneled and channeled on what we're doing. We're so stuck in the middle of a reality that we get bogged down in, and we don't jump away from it. Because the secret of surviving and understanding and becoming who you really are in this reality is actually to jump out of yourself and turn yourself inside out and walk with yourself. And you believe the belief inside. When you have that belief, you are creating your space, your protection, and you can walk anywhere. Nobody can hurt you. Now, stop. You might see here, this is just a picture that's taken on a visual. I went with some colleagues to Wales. This is coming out of the ground in a farm miles out in Wales. Clear picture of a skull. Just giving you some idea of what happens in reality. We've seen all photographs, but this little visitor here shot across, went straight through the gate. This is coming like crop circles. This is in our reality now and around us all the time. Of course, these are specks of dust, aren't they? Just to give you an idea. So, how is it affecting us all, and what's happened to the planet we're on? Well, we know about climate change, it's absolute load of rubbish. Just another way to get more money out of you and make the people more fatter and richer. The Earth is moving on axis at the moment from our solar system, whether we like it or not. And we don't see that because how many new images and pictures of what's happening outside in space, how many new pictures do we see of the moon? How many new pictures do we see of our solar system? We don't see anything new. There's nothing there new because it's changing all the time. As it's changing, we are being pulled from a point, and I'm not going into the 2012, but we are in 2012 now. We are in it. It's happening now. This transition is happening now. As we are being pulled through, we are going through what you can only describe wormholes, access points, trails, threads within the solar system and within the universe we have to go to another universe. Because there isn't one universe. We have to lose this whole understanding that the fact that we have one solar system and one universe. There is millions of universes. As you have a family tree where you have sons and daughters, yourself, your husband, partner, your grandparents, great-grandparents, that thread, that link exists in the universe. And this universe is finishing. So we are being pulled to a new direction where we sat before. We were pulled into this place way centuries back. Oh. Oh dear. Sorry, this is new gadgets, see. I don't work well with new gadgets. We're going to move on one.
Everybody's darling, there he is.
Now, do you trust that man?
Oh, yes.
Is it not Tony Blair went to the wardrobe one day and came out David Cameron? He spoke at one of his regular Cameron direct meetings. This is way before all the things that happen here now, at which he takes questions from the public. And the Conservative leader promised to be entirely open and frank about what the government knows about close encounters. At the meeting in Plymouth, he was questioned about a spat of mysterious incidents. He said he was convinced he's got the likeness, was convinced the Earth had been visited by aliens. Okay. We all know about crop circles. They don't exist. They're not real. Because we shouldn't see them. Why do we see crop circles? Because they're here to show us something. Unfortunately, we haven't found what that message is yet. But when you go to one, or even when you study one in a picture, or you're lucky enough to go out to one, the vibration of feelings, emotions that you feel are real. And they're crossing many boundaries in many realities. When you go into one of these man-made or extraterrestrial made, and they're made together now with man-made and extraterrestrial activity. Multi-dimensional forces come together, third, fourth, fifth, sixth dimensions. When they come together and create amazing patterns like this, they're significant to the human race and to you inside yourself because they're keys of knowledge. Move on. This one I walk round. Huge crop circle, binary coded message. You've all seen this one. Artist's image of what that was. One of the most amazing crop circles made. If this doesn't tell us here in human form, in front of our eyes, that we are not the only people that exist here on this universe, this solar system, or even this Earth. And there's just a few, and it's very interesting this year because they started in April, which is very early. Avebury, Wiltshire. Interesting times. Interesting times.